All right. It's the second week in a row that I missed my cue. But we're going to straighten it out. Whoa, man, we got some all kinds of stuff going on here. So, how did I get so like punched in? Oh, I bet you I know what's going on. I think it has a little bit to do with background. It's that bright image. I switch it. There we go. A little more subtle. We got all those reflections in there. That actually, that's less subtle, but I'm going to leave it there. All righty. So hopefully, yeah, that sounds good. So I just want to double check to make sure everything was working. My usual get the stream straightened out settings. It looks like we've got a good feed coming in here. And I am going to switch that to live chat. We're going to do, I'm wishing I could do a pop out a little bit more. Let's get that. Oh, whoa, that's not good. All right. Just trying to get my chat popped out and I want to be able to use it. So maybe we'll get to that point here if I get, anyway, I'm still struggling. What is that back there? All right. My iPhone was on there. My usual struggles every time. Every time. But as you could see from my tag, I want to talk a little bit about, seriously, I want to talk about the POTENSIC and how important that they are. And there's a lot of reasons for me to want to have this discussion. One is I've used their products. Here, let me get this thing up here. By the way, speaking of products, this stream here is, I'm gonna say it's these couple of streams here are sponsored by Mayano right there. There's the Mayano A04 Gen 2 podcasting microphone, and these guys right here. And then I did get Fee-Fine, but these guys are giving me some gear, and I want to talk a little, throw them up here and just say, hey, I'm using their gear. And this is their podcasting microphone, and it does come with all of the stuff you see right here. And I just want you to know that I'm committed to using it for a month. And so far, so good. I've been able to dial it right in. This one actually comes with the arm. They're pretty reasonable price-wise. All these companies are really putting out decent stuff. So, but that it's the A04 podcasting mic, and it does come with a boom arm. You can run it through OBS. Very simple. Very simply, it sets up quite nicely. And if you want to know how I've got it set up, I wonder if I could do this here. Let me go to my screen capture here. You can see I've already got my plug in here for Potensic. And we're going to get back to that Potensic discussion because the Potensic is the only company. I'm just going to leave this with you, and then we're going to talk about the things that it's done. Potensic is the only company that is committed to taking their product that they released. Now I've done a bunch of stuff with Holy Stone. I've done work for toy drone companies, basically. And most of them are just rebranding, but they're not really changing the tech. And these guys are literally putting better software inside of the drone. And they're keeping it sub 50. They're keeping it relevant. And every time a new model comes out that has some kind of a pro moniker or a newer version that's not one of their subunits, like their SE model. And I mean, when you get an SE, you know that it's not going to have everything that the original has, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of companies right now just putting out the same thing, using the same. These guys are changing the software. They're adding features. And the drone is getting better. They're putting better cameras on it, and we'll talk about that in a second. Before that, I want to show you. Let's see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this without destroying everything. And then we'll get to the chat. Just go here. See if I can get you. Let me see if I can get this visible for you. All right. Let's do that. Okay. So this right here is the way I've got this mic set up. So if you're interested in what magic I've done, because this thing is literally a $50 microphone. It's less than the Fee-Fine. Okay. So that's what these guys are getting better too. Technology's getting better. They can't live with the same stuff, and they have to constantly rebrand themselves. But so this is my setup that I have for this mic. So you can see how I got it stacked over here on the right. So if you're going to set up a mic like this on a podcast or a live stream, okay, first set your gain. Okay. I usually leave the gain at 0. I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas, if you're having trouble with your mic setup, okay? Because I've spent a bunch of time taking very inexpensive mics and making them sound decent. So set your gain first, then hit your noise suppression, okay? So the noise suppression, you've got choices in your noise suppression right here. And I use the better quality noise suppression. If you have an NVIDIA card, this thing will actually, I'm using a Mac, so I don't have that, that NVIDIA noise suppression that you'd have if you had a PC. Okay. The next thing you want to do is set up your three band graphic equalizer, and it has to be in this order. If you don't put it in this order, then the filters don't work correctly. Okay, so this one I have, I brought my gain up, my high gain up to about, it's all under 7, you can see. So 6.9, then my mids are lower, and then I bring up the low tones to about 4 or 5, somewhere around there. I've adjusted it. I've made some different adjustments. So right there is how my equalizer is set up. So you get that crispy high, and you get a little bit of a low, some of that lower, more deep sound. Depends on your voice, that kind of thing. The next thing is my expander. My expander allows me to have a little bit more control over my tones. Okay. So it allows me to, filter things out. As you can see, I'm tapping on my desk and it's filtering it out. So my suppression in my attack and release levels, which I slowly adjust, So we're basically trying to do is we're trying to get it so we can be as loud as possible without clipping the mic. And my mic has been clipping forever. I finally fixed it. I got it dialed in. So you can see my ratio I've got set at about 3.5. My threshold is about, now the threshold you adjust, and that's where you can limit the clipping. You set up at the end a limiter, which will take all of your sound settings and make sure it double makes sure that you don't clip. And then I've got my attack down. Now my attack means when I speak, it will kick in. Okay. So I want it to kick in with the lowest sound possible. Okay. So I've got it set at 2 milliseconds and it releases at 100 milliseconds. Okay. So my release is where it returns back. And then I've got my out. Now you have another output gain. You got to be careful so your gains are not confusing. I try to make my top gain as low as I actually adjusted my top gain today because I'm using a different computer. So I had to change that. Okay. So these are my expander settings and this is my compressor right here. Okay. So I'm compressing that sound. I'm putting it into this is where I can do side chain ducking. Like if I could put music in the background, stuff like that. So there's all kinds of settings there in your compressor. And then your limiter limits that, that high and low. Okay. You're releasing your attack here. Anyway, a lot of people will just go with the expander and then use all the expander settings because you can see it also has a threshold and attack in it. So anyway, this has been working really good. I mean, I can scream into my mic right now and it's working great. So anyway, you can take a really cheap mic and there's some really good sites that you can go to, which I can give you for making that decision anyway. So if you're interested in the mics, there you go right there. That's once again, that's that Mayano. Am I going to keep using the Mayano forever? I don't know. I really have, kind of a view of, or a vision of what I want my set to look like. So a lot of times it gets down to what you want your mic to look like in front of you. Some people don't want their mic there at all. So anyway, so there we go. So those are my settings right there. I'm going to go ahead and close those out and get this one back on. And once again, that's the last time you'll see this in this stream, but this is the AO4 Gen 2. Yes, it was provided for me and I got it to work really good. If it sucked, I would definitely tell you it's working. If it sucks, you'll listen, you'll hear it. Hey, that mic sucks, So I've been through a bunch of them and I'm now to mic 3. So don't be surprised if you see a mic 4 someday. All right. Back to the original discussion. Okay. So why do we need POTENSIC? Why do we need these guys? Okay. Well, guys, we need POTENSIC because we have companies right now that are continuing to put out garbage, drone after drone after drone. And the flight characteristics aren't changing. The drone is looking different color. It's looking more pretty. Sometimes the camera gets better, but the software that runs the camera is crap. POTENSIC is doing all of that. They remind me of DJI when DJI was just starting out with the minis. Most of you guys don't remember that DJI started out as a assemble yourself kit way back, and then they put the Phantoms out, and they put several versions of the Phantom as they were trying to get better with the Phantom line. They started to improve the camera, the flight characteristics. They started to put more like they mess with the props, the lighting, the software. Okay, if you remember the 04 software way back, so not the 04, the Go4 software. So, and it took them a long time to get it there. And you have to understand that Potensic is doing the same thing. They are going down the same road. They're just behind. They started down the road much later. So, so I'm going to read through your, guys, I'm getting there. I'm going to read through, the chat here really quick. But guys, yeah, do I have a horse in the game with Potensic? You could say I do. They've given me products before. I'm going to be honest. I mean, they've given me products, but if I, you've known that when I've tested products, it's hard for me to like really be, excited about something that sucks. And my problem with Potensic this year for the Atom 2, you're like, well, why don't I see more Atom 2 videos? Well, my problem is I'm a DJI pumper. I love DJI because they've already gone through all these steps, and most of us don't want to go through these steps again. Now we're going to get down. If you look at the description of my video today, one of the things I talked about is service. Most of us that are buying drones and that are afraid what, especially in the United States, about what's going on with service and software and firmware updates and all those things. Most of you don't know that Potensic has put out a couple of firmware updates this year already. And their last firmware update took that 1/2-inch camera and gave it a log profile. So you can now get log color profiles out of the Potensic Atom 2. Now it's just the Atom 2 and the Atom 2 software. They also updated their app. And guys, the Atom 2 is the only sub 250 non-sensor drone to basically have a position holding and orbit mode, AI functions, follow, smart follow. It's got all of that stuff, spotlight mode, and you don't get that with the crappy toy drones that don't have really good apps. I mean, everybody's trying to put an app out. Holy Stone's trying to put out an app. Fimi is another company that's done it. Fimi is kind of under the radar. They're an under the radar company. I think they definitely are more of an Asian market, but so anyway, so Cozy Drone, hey, thanks for being here. We got you on there. We got James in the house. How you doing, James? Of course, Kai's in the house. Thank you for showing up like you do every time. Another CG in the house. How you doing? James, I got you there. Where else we got? Grave Historian is in the house. Thank you guys for being here today. We even got our EU folks here. But anyway, if you're an American drone pilot, you are going to be suffering from this problem. And it's that I want a drone that's going to consistently update every 6 to 10 months, right? And then I want it to improve its software and improve its features. If it's not going to do that, I don't want to buy it. And Potensic, and this is what I told Potensic because they've been bugging me lately, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do some work for them. I'm going to start looking at them closer, and they're begging for attention right now, and they're putting the time in. There's no question about it. So I went to the Potensic site, and this is the Atom 2 stuff that they put out. But I mean, as far as here, let me get my let me make me a little bit smaller here, so I'm blocking out these guys have been doing a lot of stuff. They improved their controller this year, and they have their own version of a transmission called PixSync. Okay. So PixSync 4.0. So Pix, like in picture, sync as in, basically making sure we get real-time information. And of course, they're the ones that pioneered the controller. Now you can get that controller from Fimi. Okay. And some people say, hey, wait a second, Fimi and Potensic are the same thing. But both of those companies have been pushing better software, firmware updates, and improving their what they call their flagship and keeping it under 249 grams. Even DJI can't keep their freaking drone under 249. So you guys were, everybody have been complaining about DJI, making a fat drone, but these guys, they're committed. They're committed. Now their app, I'm playing around with. It's called the POTENSICS Eve app. Let me see where it is here. Got it here somewhere. Hold on here. But I've got too many apps on my phone is the problem, guys. I got way too much stuff going on. And anyway, they're in the POTENSICS Eve app. Here we get. I don't know where it's at, so I'm going to find, there we go. There we go. Just got to open it. All right. Allow. Okay. Anyway, I don't have it connected to anything, but let's look at what it looks like. But it is different. It is different than a lot of the other apps. Now there are some features, there's some things in there that you are, right. So that's the intro. Oh, there you go. There's me too. But that is right there. There's the POTENSICS Fly Now. These guys are trying to copy the Fly app experience. And they've got their own smart transfer for smart transfer of video. And they got some secrets that I'm not willing to give out at this point. But they have got some cool things that they're trying to do and that they're in the middle of doing. So, I mean, I love that. I mean, these guys are putting out a serious product here. They're putting time and they're getting talented people and they are making their product better. This thing, guys, look at the features on this. This is their flagship sub 250 drone that's now almost it came out earlier this year, came out like this spring. So sub 250, they got their new app. They got POTENSICS Care. You can pay for POTENSICS Care and they'll fix your drone. Think about that. Okay, you can't get DJI Care in America, but you can get POTENSICS Care. It's got a 4x digital zoom. So so within the software, you've got digital ability to at least digitally zoom your half inch. Now we all want one more step from these guys. These guys got to put out, they have to put out their 1/1.3 sensor. They've got to put their 1/3 sensor out. That is going to be very helpful to them. Their build quality has been very good. Their battery life is getting better. They have an AI super night mode. Their transfer rate is getting better. Their smart transfer. And they're now basically, they're now to the 8K in HDR. So we've got a stacked CMOS sensor. And so everything is starting to happen. And once again, this is the only non-sensor drone. This one doesn't have sensors. So this thing will basically will allow you to track. And, DJI won't let you track with theirs. So, all right. So anyways, they're starting to do those great things. And we need to support these guys. We need to at least look at them seriously and start to, think of them as a real player. Okay, I got to go back to I got to go back to my feed here. To you guys, get my live feed here. Hey, what's on the horizon for POTENSICS? Well, better things. They are improving things. They are doing things different and better, and they are making their product line better. The biggest thing right now that they did this year, besides changing the software, is they improved their sync between their controller and the drone. Now, and getting back to what I want them to do, this is, as I was, in my communications with them, when I talk to them, one of the things I made the comment of is like, I want to do stuff. I want to be able to talk about your product, but we need a new design. We need you to update your drone design. But on the other hand, I understand why they're not. It's not the most important thing right now. They've got a really good design. They improved their prop and their sound quality. So this thing is basically a nice, quiet drone. It flies super good. And it has just great functionality, and it takes really good video. Now, my biggest problem with it has been locking in exposure. So I have committed myself to learning their software, just like I committed myself to learning the DJI Fly app. I need to commit myself to learn the Potensic Eve app so I can get the best image possible out of that 1/2-inch sensor camera. Just like I did with as much as I like photography, that's what I want to do with these guys. I want to put the time in and get to know their product. And I really haven't. I haven't done my homework with them. I've taken it out of the box. I've thrown it in the air, flown it, and I'm like, all right, there it is. And, they have the dolly zoom. They've got all these great software features built into them. I would say what I would like them to do when it comes to their camera is to make it more dummy proof. I know enough about photography, but I still am a novice, and they need to make it so when you take this thing out of the box, that its auto functions are really good. That this thing will auto mode into a really good color profile, since they have all of this great, what they call P-log now. Okay. So let me see if I can find some of that stuff here. So you got 8K photos. You got f1.8, which gives it much more depth of field. Now, you'll say, what's the difference between the Mini 5 and this? Well, they're in different generations. So let me explain. So what's happened with Potensic is they're using a sub 250 airframe, but they're using the technology from the Air 2. Okay. The Air 2 had that same camera that this has. This is roughly the same camera that the Air 2 has. Okay. Same, but the Air 2 didn't have HDR. So this one has a stack sensor, just a little bit of an upgrade from the Air 2. And we know what happened from the Air 2 to the Air 2S. They basically threw a bigger sensor on there. They basically took the Mavic 2 camera and they threw it on the Air platform, but that's not sub 250. So the next level is to get this, this Sony sensor here, which is now a stack sensor, to the next level, which they're doing right now with their P-log profile. Now remember, log profile gives you more color. It gives you more color depth, and you have to go and post-process it. And that's the problem with log files so I'm going to commit myself to learning it and to putting it up in log format. And I am going to do some videos on that, on understanding their P-log format. Okay. So DJI has, their own version of it. Okay. But that's a really good image, and in log, it's just going to be that much better. So anyway, so what are you paying for this thing? What is this thing going to cost you? What is all this rate? Well, right now it's dirt cheap right here. This is the spring version of the Atom 2. And I own this exact drone. You say, I said owned. Okay. I'm going to get back to the next the next step of my life, which I'm going to admit, because I am not the kind of person that keeps my focus very well. So I didn't keep the Atom for as long as I should have to learn it. I didn't learn it enough. I didn't put my time in with it to learn it. I just moved on to the next thing, and what came was the flip. Okay, I went right from the POTENSIC Atom 2 to the DJI Flip. I got basically distracted, and I didn't see the forest through the trees. And for about the same money, obviously the Flip has a bigger image sensor. Okay, it's got a bigger camera sensor, and does it have follow me? Yeah, it certainly does. So this is precision tracking right there. This is basically a sensor-less drone. Remember, it doesn't have sensors, so if you run this into a tree, it's your fault. It's not a smart drone. But most of us are willing, if you're in an open area like that. So this has AI tracking. It can track your vehicle. Yes, it can. It knows whether you're a car. It knows whether you're a bike or a person. So, which is really cool. Okay. So, yeah, it tracks. Yes, it does. So we got the 8K, 4K image, or 8K image, 4K, sub 250. We've got the new PicSync with the better antenna, which I liked. I really like that new flip up antenna. I've got to fly with that controller. Everything is amazing about that controller. There's nothing that I can say that I didn't like about it. You've got tracking. Okay. You've got AI night shots. You got vertical shooting. This thing can shoot in vertical mode. So, okay, it'll go into vertical mode, but it at 2.7K, so it'll crop into your image. Okay, it's got a big old image. It'll do panoramas. It'll do burst shots. It does everything that the Air series does, but it just has a lesser sensor right now. It needs a sensor upgrade. It needs to go. And when I was talking to POTENSIC, I was like, "Hey, when are you going to do this? When are you going to put the 1/1.3 in there?" Because when they put that in there, they have a drone that is at that point a drone equal to the Mini 3. And you're like, wait a second. The Mini 3, been there, done that, right? Okay, well, let's see but this is where they're going to be at. So let me go here. So with the Mini 3, you have basically mostly just image stuff. You can take pictures, take video, fly, but this doesn't have any smart features whatsoever. This thing doesn't do anything, but it does expose an image very nicely. It flies wonderfully, has really good flight time. When DJI made this drone, that's what they made it for. They made it to be an endurance flyer that would take amazing images, and it doesn't have any sensor protection whatsoever. What POTENSIC did was, yeah, we'll take that drone, we'll make it like the Air 2, but we'll put all of the same technology that the Air 2 has, all of the sensing, all of the follow, all those things without sensors. We're going to take the risk. We know people are going to run it into stuff, when you're doing follow. You don't want to follow the Atom on a bike through the trees. It's not going to work. Okay. But, we're going to improve its flight performance. We're going to do all of those things. And that's what they did. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Yeah, well, it is a cloned app, but the app features are not the same from app to app. If you go to the FEMI app, which is a similar app, obviously. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, we got Henry on here. I just wanted to add, Henry, I appreciate you popping in here. Yeah, I'm not telling you guys, I'm not telling you that Potensic is a completely like separate company in a lot of what it uses, but it's the company of these toy manufacturers that is making the most out of what it's putting out. You remember the SC video I did a long time ago with the EIS in it? And I flew it. It was, I think I paid like $200 for it. It came in a box. It was refurbished. And I flew it. I'm like, holy crap, these guys actually did a really good job with the camera on this thing. And I'm like, it's about time that the toy companies, and it happened to be Potensic that did it. By the way, that short I did has got, I don't know if they got 100,000 views. Because that's how groundbreaking and how excited I was when they did that. I don't know why FEMI doesn't. FEMI got lazy. Potensic's not lazy. Potensic is pushing it to the American market, into the DJI space, and they are trying to push on them. They are trying to poke at them. Okay, and they've made great progress with their video. Okay, all right. So we got this, we're getting better colors, we're getting better contrasts, we're getting more real, I guess, if you want to look at trying to get this thing to cycle for me. I'm trying to go through their whole little spiel they have here. Now, yeah, this is their P log, okay? So remember, it says, remember log allows for you to edit things in post, but it will allow you to get much more out of your images than, say, a lot of their prepackaged color profiles. So, P-log creates, there's your log, and then there's your, so your log is your tones that are all muted, but P-log is a huge step. No other company is putting log profiles in their product. Okay, they're the first to do it. So I'm looking at, well, why should I like Potensic? Well, they're doing things. Okay, slow motion. Okay, so they're taking their image and they're allowing you more flexibility. So that's 5 times slow motion. I think that's probably in 1080p. They got the 4 times digital zoom. Okay, now we understand the weaknesses of digital zoom, but digital zoom comes in handy sometimes. I use digital zoom at times. So they've got something called defog. So if you're flying in fogging conditions, it will basically defog your lens and your lens cover. Okay, how many toy manufacturers are doing that? I mean, tell me, it's so, now these are the different photo choices you have. Now they have their own version of bracketing. Photo bracketing allows you to get the most out of your images in a really challenging. So it goes to high exposure, low exposure, and then it brings those images together into a single image that takes the best of the highs, the best of the lows, and merges them together. You've got bursts, so you can get multiple shots to look for the best. If you got an action sequence, like you're taking pictures of birds or animals running. You've got interval timer, so you can take actual slow stop motion shots. You can create your own hyperlapse with that. And of course, you've got this 8K image sensor, so you can crop that in. With 8K, you can really, squeeze into an image. Now remember 8K was pioneered way back with the Autel drone. And they had an 8K and a 6K version. And anyway, they have put AI into their functioning. So there is a AI function in it where it's actually automatically determining whether you're an animal or a human or a car or a bike. Okay, a kayak. This has got bike, motorcycle, kayak, people, sailboat. car. So you can see that they have that built into that. So it identifies objects. There's your, and here is your tracking. How many, I can't do that. Guys, I cannot track with this. This does not allow me to track. I would have to own the pro version of this. It makes no sense that we didn't get tracking with this drone. You're saying, well, you could just get a different software. You could use Litchi or whatever, so I don't want to use another software. I want to use the one that the drone comes with. Okay. I don't want that. Okay. So there's your, so all of these things, have made Potensic better, and we just don't appreciate them. We don't appreciate them at all. And we need to support this company. This company is putting out products. It's trying, and it's not trying to take every last dollar out of your pocket. Well, you said, well, I bought a DJI, Mini 5. Well, I'm not willing to pay $1,300 for the Mini 5. I'm not yet, not at this time. It is not worth $1,300. It is not sold at $1,300. I'm not going to be a victim of a money grab. So I'm just going to wait. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find other products that have great quality, that have potential, okay, like Potensic, and I'm going to spend some time with them. Okay, I'm going to spend some time with their with their product, and I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to get better with it, and get the most out of it. And then if I break it, I can get help getting it repaired. They have their own repair facility here. So if DJI does that, then great. Okay, we can vertically shoot, so we can create that vertical format. Most people don't even know that this thing exists, let alone all the features that it has. Okay, so the dolly zoom is kind of interesting, and I think in this setting, the dolly zoom is kind of cool. Definitely on a hilltop. I always like it. I think it's interesting. It is very much gimmicky, but so you got the normal pull away, spiral, circle, all those things. Boomerang shot's good. You have to suffer if you freaking boomerang into a tree. It's not smart. But if you look at what Captain Drone did with this freaking Godzilla amazingly expensive Mini 5, he ran it into a tree. Okay. Yeah. $1,300 for, basically, $1,300 for a drone that's probably worth, $800 or $900. It's probably worth less than that. If you remember what the Mini 2s were running with the same number of, let's see, if the Atom 3 has it. Yeah. Well, okay. What would we want in an Atom 3? I think that's definitely a discussion. I don't know if they're going to be able to jump, guys. They're not going to be able to jump into the 1-inch sensor world. I just don't think so. It's a technical feat to shove that into a sub 250 frame, and DJI had to make their frames so small. So what Potensic needs to do is take some steps that are going to be behind you guys. You have to understand they're going to be behind DJI no matter what. You can't expect them to catch up. So what they're going to do is they're going to go to a new airframe next. So don't be surprised if you see an Atom 3 with a different airframe and a 1/1.3-inch sensor. Basically, you're going to see something in the line of this, but it's going to have way more features. And it's probably going to have a better battery technology. It's going to have a better system to get images off of. It's going to have a better flying connection, a better bit rate. Those things, that's how they're going to get better. And they're going to have service. Okay, they're going to be able to fix your broken stuff. And that's the way I see it. That's how I see these guys making it matter, okay? Making their software smarter so it can capture a night mode and not make it grainy. Okay. So I think I got everything. I think I've There's the panoramic mode. So I've done panoramas from these guys. The panoramas are really nice. It can stitch together photographs that are really good. It can do the sphere. Remember the sphere? That was the Air 2. I think there was a lot of drones that did the sphere. How many of you guys use the sphere? And then you've got the 10-kilometer range. I've never range tested it. Probably need to with 1080 30 full FHD, okay, and 120 millisecond latency. So anyway, so I'm just saying that this thing is I have never tested it to a great distance, but I think I have to. I think I have to give it a shot. I know where I would do it, and I know exactly how I can compare it to other drones to give you an idea of how really good it is. But we don't know that yet. Okay. So yeah, to me, one of the problems that I have with toy drones is transferring files. I'm starting to figure it out, but, I want it to be easier. Okay. I don't want to necessarily transfer it to my phone necessarily. And if I do transfer a file, I don't want my drone overheating. So anyway, I'm getting to that point where you kind of get my, you get my drift, that we're getting better batteries. We're getting better flight times. We're getting better systems, faster charge rates. Just all those things are improving. We're getting a better flying experience with a better controller. All of those things. Now, there's one thing that this one lacks or is missing. And I think that one thing I would like to see the POTENSICS do is take their controller and put a screen on it. We need a screen controller from these guys, okay? I want you to take this really awesome controller that you have and get a screen on it and make it even better. I mean, this one's got C1, C2 buttons. It's got 2 rocker switches. Okay, it's got its own start stop button on the top. Maybe we could get another function, but with C1 and C2, we can get the auto function of which is cruise control, which it does. All of those things. This thing will do those. We've got customizable stick modes. Remember, I've complained about this. I've said, hey, this drone's is wonky to fly. 2 drones that I flew that were toy drones recently, both of them wonky flyers. This one I can customize my stick curve and my flight modes. Okay. Both my Atom and my Atom SE have, they do, because they're not the Atom 2. They're not the new version. Yes, I had the same problems, just so you know. Hey, Dodger Baseball, I see you just made a comment. Yes, I had the same argument. I did, and this is the lower versions. The SE model had problems with that. The 3-axis gimbal version had problems with that. And like I'm telling you, the reason why I'm coming back to these guys is their commitment to fixing that. And they created their own version of what DJI uses. Okay, these DJI linking algorithms that they're creating. These guys are doing the same thing. I know they're stealing technology. I don't care. You can steal them from each other, but make me a drone. Make it not say DJI on it. Change your controller. That's a great nifty design. That is not designed by DJI, and it's got a panel antenna. Okay. Thing is so nice. Those 2 antennas that they had and the other ones flopped around all the time. This thing's a freaking solid panel. Bam, it's up and you're flying. So I think that's enough for this. I just, the flight, it's quiet. It's, it's everything is getting better. It's just, and once again, these guys are committed to making their product, thoughtful, thorough. You see these words that they're throwing on there? This is the stuff their marketing team is going, this is what people want. So, all right, I think it's enough. I think I've done enough. I've done enough pandering to Potensic, and I'm pandering them to them because I like them. I think they listen, and I think they are going to be thoughtful and thorough, okay, in what they give to us. And DJI has been thoughtful and thorough to what they have given to us. And I think these guys are worth embracing and making available, to yourself. So anyway, I think that's it. I think we've done enough. And I really wanted to spend this time on that. I really thought that, with what's happening, what I know is happening, okay? And what is basically secretly in this box here on my bench, right here, okay? This thing right here is another step that direction. These guys have done it again. They've done another step forward. They've made another step forward, and I can't show it to you. But it is a really good step forward. That's all I can tell you. It is something that I've been pushing companies to do, and we need. It's thoughtful and thorough. It takes into consideration innovations that they're bringing to the consumer drone space. And maybe one of you guys want them to make a more than 250. I would say make me an air level drone. Okay, make it bigger than sub 250. Make it an air level thing. Put a bigger camera on it, right? Possum, you said that. Okay, he said make it bigger, make it better. Put a 1-inch sensor on a bigger airframe, and then give us a screen controller to make that happen. Okay, to make that work, to get that next level of better. Okay, we want one more level of better from these guys, and I think they can do it. So, all right, guys, thank you for listening to my rant today. And I'm ranting on behalf of Potensic, and of course my stream sponsor today, right here, Mayano, for making this mic possible. All right, thank you, Mayano, for making this mic for me. Sounds great, by the way. Yeah, you guys, you can take the cheapest mic and make it sound perfect. So, guys, technology's pretty much got to that point. You don't have to spend $1 million for a mic anymore. And Kai and I, we both have experimented using DJI Minis, and I've done a live stream with a mic 2 and a mic, original mic. So, all right. So, Mayano AO4 Gen 2 podcasting microphone and boom arm. That's what those guys, they get my love today. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you did get some great knowledge today. I'm bringing my position on Potensic and its potential. Okay, am I sounding like somebody you know? A Ken Heron? The potential for greatness. Okay. All right. Is there anything else on this website that? Oh yeah, there's that. I think it keeps getting better right there. There's their file management system. It's getting better. I'm telling you, these guys are not putting out crap anymore. They are seriously, thoughtfully changing their product to make it better, and that's. We got flight record playbacks. So they've got their, that's another cool thing. Remember the flight records? Remember when I used to use my flight records all the time. So smart service and Potensic care. Okay. All right. Hey, that's enough of that. That's, I know I kept saying it's enough of that, but that's where we're at, guys. That's where we are at. I'm just putting there's my chat. I just put my chat up now. So, and did I load that up? I don't know. I thought I logged into my chat. So, Let's see. Am I logged in? Let's see. Anyway, but I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I know there's other things you can do on a Friday. Drink beer, enjoy the weather as it's starting to cool down in the fall now. In the Northern Hemisphere, we now have a much cooler temperature. So, all righty, guys. Have a great weekend and give these guys a shot. Let's give them a shot. Let's see what they're going to do. We don't want to pay more for less. We do not want to pay more for quality that is less than what you can get for an equally valuable or equally attainable product for, $450 right here. I mean, but this one doesn't give me any function. I can't do cool things with this. I like the spotlight mode. I can't spotlight with this thing. Okay. So we deserve, if we're going to put our hard-earned cash out there, we deserve more. That's for sure. All right, guys, have a great weekend. And bye. Please like and subscribe if you have not. Hit the like button if you would. If you did like it, if you didn't, hit the don't like button. It's still basically information for me. And I'm out of here. Bye.